Hey y'all, I'm gonna be reviewing episode 97 of Gegege no鬼太郎, and I gotta say, this episode, wow. It does a lot of fake outs, but in the best possible way, because when the episode starts, it makes you look like Ratman loses his arm and like, whoa, holy cow. But then afterwards, it shows you his arm is fine, and then things of that nature. Or midway in this episode, when Mana is in like the land of the unending, where she has to like pretty much help out Kitarou. I like how in this episode it emphasizes that there is a cost, because essentially to get Kitarou back, Mana has to give up her memories. And I like that because, for one, from a narrative standpoint, it shows that in this episode to take on Blackbeard there had to be some sacrifices, because this episode mentions that with Cat Chick, just as long as they get out of that place, she'll be fine. And they do, but it's at the cost of Mana's memories. And it really made for a sad sequence parts ways in, when they had Kitarou pretty much defeat Blackbeard. It was an epic sequence. And then when it ends up that she doesn't remember anything, it was just sad. And I was like, dang. I did not see that coming. And then aside from that, what I really was also impressed about this episode was they utilized Ratman also midway in the episode when he makes a speech that's transmitted towards like multiple areas in Japan, pretty much talking about how all this fighting's pointless. And then it midways in, it gets everyone to stop the petty fighting. And I love that sequence there too, because someone like Ratman making the speech was really prominent, considering he's half human and half yokai, and it was a really beautiful thing there. Because had any other character done it, yeah, and that speech might have had power, but since it was Ratman itself, it was beautiful, because in this episode, he's gone through an amazing metamorphosis, because midways in, he tries to convince the yokai to stop fighting through words. I like that, and that was really awesome. And then additionally, aside from that, I also like how in this episode too, aside from getting those moments of Ramen, I like how he even points to like Kitarou, saying that he's fighting for all of us, and that was really another glorious sequence too. It only makes the defeat of Blackbeard more satisfying, because to defeat him, Kitarou needs the energy not just from humans, but yokai, and they all share it together in the defeat of Blackbeard. And that was pretty cool, because it had a nice moral message of, if people from like different backgrounds work together, they can overcome tough situations, which in the case of Blackbeard, that was tough, because as mentioned in the previous episode, I believe it mentioned that there was a 1 in 1 million chance of defeating him. So I like that too. It just made this episode much more epic, and it definitely had a nice feeling of finality, and I love it for that. And that's what I felt from a story standpoint. It was great, because it didn't waste time. When you need an emotional moment, like when Mana gave up her memories so that Kitarou can come back with his memories intact, that was a beautiful sequence, because it shows you Mana's selflessness. Wanting to give something precious to Kitarou, like her memories, was a glorious sequence there, because you see Kitarou always do his efforts to save Mana. Now this time it was Mana's turn to save Kitarou, and that was really beautiful. And then on top of that, it only made the sequence where everyone's cheering, and then Kitarou talks to Mana, but then when she's like, doesn't have her memories, it just made it sad when afterwards Kitarou just walks away slowly. And then it transitions to like a few years later, where all the yokai keep tabs on Mana just to look after her well-being. That was really cute and adorable. And then I like how near the end, Mana's attacked by a stray yokai, and then at the last second, Kitarou beats that yokai with a single hit, and then in that instance, Mana remembers that's Kitarou, and she gets her memories back, and that was such a beautiful sequence, because you see this is an older Mana. And then I like how the after credits play, and then at the end credits you see that there was a picture of Mana hanging out with all the other yokai, and it's older Mana. So it shows you that she actually did spend time with the yokai, and everything was pretty much happy, ended off happily. And I love that neat bow, because it was cool. Because, don't get me wrong, if the series would have ended up with Mana not having her memories, it would have been sad as hell, and it would have had a bittersweet ending, but I would have praised it. But regardless, the route they took and having Mana have her memories back after years of not remembering was another beautiful thing. Because you see afterwards she rekindles her memories, and you know what? I'm happy with the happy ending. Mana's earned a happy ending, and so has Kitarou, and that makes my heart just jump with leaps of joy. And that's why I thought this episode was great. And even though the Horn then he commits suicide. But what I like about this episode is that he mentions that there'll always be someone to take his place, which I feel like it keeps it open-ended, the series, because if it gets more episodes, not more episodes, if it gets any other material, it'll make sense. But if it doesn't, then it's a great way of capping things off, because you gotta remember, in life there's always gonna be an antagonistic force eventually in life. You always have people pick up other people's ideologies. So that's another interesting message I found in the episode too, where, well, yes, for the most part things are happy. There's eventually in life there's always going to be like an antagonistic force that is going to have to be dealt with. So I like that too. And that's why I thought this episode had a nice and realistic message too. And aside from that, what I also like about this episode too was also the animation and the art. It was just beautiful, it was glorious, and I loved it. Especially when Kitarou did his finger gun against Backbeard. It was just a visual masterpiece. And then the voice performances were great. Have no complaints there. Music placement was great. And this episode had a lot of plot progression, and I loved it. Because it pretty much got rid of the Backbeard situation. Nordy Hoenn was pretty much, it seemingly blew up. Like, pretty much all the enemies were taken care of in a singular episode, and we have our happy ending. So that's why I thought this episode did amazing from the story standpoint. It did amazing from the character standpoint, because at the end you do have Mama getting her memories back, which is nice, because had she lost her memories, it might have had a potential chance of maybe feeling like the character development was wasted. But due to her getting her memories back, that means she was able to get those experiences of growth. And that's what I really love about this episode too. And that's why I felt it wrapped everything up nicely. And in saying that, I'm going to give this episode an 11 out of 10. It wrapped things up perfectly. And as for the series overall, it's great, honestly. There's not much you can ask from a series. It brought multiple elements back from the series, because you had moments where it showed the human characters from the episodic characters like Yuta and his friends suffering through the war setting, and some of other Mana's friends. That was pretty nice. And then you had moments where the kids helped out the yokai when they were in trouble. Like, all in all, everything just came together for a nice and marvelous wrap up. And that's why I felt the series overall was great. And I'll definitely remember it for years to come. And yeah, these are my thoughts on this episode and the series in general. I loved it. So anyways, y'all, and as for Gegege no Gitaro, if I were to mention it as one of my animes I currently watch, this is for sure the best anime I've seen by far. That I've seen so far this year. If I were to have a top 10 list right now, Gegege no Gitaro 2018 would be number 1. That is how great this finale and the last few episodes have been, in the whole series in general. This just, wow, it is way up there. And honestly, there would have to be an anime super amazing, like on the levels of like Neon Genesis Evangelion or Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or Hunter x Hunter 2011. There'd have to be an anime of that caliber that would premiere this year in order to top Gegege no Gitaro, or even match up to it. That's how great this series was, and I loved it. So anyways, y'all, thanks so much for sticking around and watching my video and my reviews for either this video or when I reviewed the other episodes. Thank you very much. Be sure to share the video, rate, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. It's been fun reacting and reviewing this series, and I'm definitely gonna miss it for sure. If this series were to ever get more episodes, I would check it out. Or if it were to get rebooted, then I would for sure check it out. For sure. I'm like, yeah. I'm definitely gonna remember this series for years to come. So anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching my video, and have a great and safe day. Bye bye.